My eldest son got married and he went to America. So we were going to America. I said I met with an accident there, but that was later on. But before that, uh, once I was sleeping in his, in my room, in my bedroom, and I had such a bad pressure on the chest, as if there was a ton pressing me, absolutely making me flat. I couldn't speak also, no? Nothing. Till I just could say, Ma Shri Aurobindo. Shri Aurobindo Ma. Shri Aurobindo Ma. And that pen went away.
What was it?
It was
A pressure.
load, actually, as if something was pressing me. Then we learnt that where his house was, my son's house was, there was a cemetery.
And was
And there was some bad force that was just trying to
and
crush
you
me.
told me about Prabhat, and
That was a different
that
thing.
was a different one. I see.
This is in America.
Oh, this is okay.
And I could have died if I had not uttered their names. Shri Aurobindo Ma. That's all I could speak. And it went away. So that was what I had written here. Then when I came to Bombay, one of my very good school friends had psoriasis so bad that they went into the throat. And she had little children, Katie. And she was in the hospital, almost dying. So I sent a telegram to the mother through Nava, everything through Nava.
Everything.
So sent a telegram saying that Katie, the role name captain, she is going through a very bad phase. She has psoriasis. She has little children. Mother, please see that she does not die. I leave it to you, like that. Immediately, mother sent a blessings packet for her, and I was told afterwards by Katie's husband that this was the time when she started improving, and that was the time when mother sent the blessings packet to her. But she made Champaklal write to me that ask her which hospital she is in. So I sent the name of the hospital. Now the divine knows everything, but still, this concrete physical knowledge
And
also she would like.
and through her children.
Yeah.
Always through her children.
Yeah.
She came for us.
So that was an episode I wanted to say. And in 1972, Sri Aurobindo's anniversary,
Centenary.
centenary,
Yes.
centenary, I had taken with me 13 people, friends. They all wanted, I want to come. And so we came by train. And I got a massive migraine attack. Immediately we came down to Madras. At that time it was Madras,
Right.
not Chennai. And I had ordered a big car, not a car, a big, to accommodate 13 people. I was with that migraine attack, and on the way, I felt that now I'll start vomiting or something, but the car stopped working. Something happened, it went wrong, something went wrong. So we all had to come down. Now, I came down, the 13 friends came down, but then I thought I would go up before I start vomiting or something. So I quietly sat like that before another friend of mine, Dolly
Dolly,
Pikaya.
yes.
She was, I didn't know what she was doing. I could hardly see. When I get migraine attacks, I can't see even. So I sat near her and I was just quietly concentrating when mother told me that breathe this way. Take the breath from the nose right over the ear, take it out, and from the ears, take it out. 5 times, no more. And Dolly was all the while reciting Savitri, it seems. And I did it 5 times. And the migraine went. It was a miracle, absolutely. Migraine just doesn't go like that. Thereafter, every day of my life, I would do the breathing. For years, I didn't get a single attack. Then I thought migraine is gone. So I left off breathing, started getting the attack.
Ah. So show us again how Mother told.
You inhale
Yes.
from inside your nose and feel that the breath goes here, 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 all over, right, and from under the ears comes out.
From under the ears and then comes out through the nose.
Nose
Very
comes
good.
out from the
Very
nose.
good. Very important.
That was also a miraculous thing, but we have to suffer, so I gave it up. Then formerly people used to come through Bombay always to Madras or through Bombay to go anywhere. So there is one Muktananda Ashram in where Shivpuri. What is it by? Muktananda Ashram in Vajreshwari. Vajreshwari, there is one Muktananda Ashram. So this Muktananda, who is the eye of the ashram, he came. In his ashram, he used to invite Madhav Pandit to give lectures. So Madhav used to go to his ashram. Once he said, I want to see the mother. So Madhav took an appointment for Muktananda, and Muktananda came to Pondicherry. And 3 days he stayed in. 3 days before the appointed day, he came, and on the appointed day, he went away. He didn't see the mother. He said, I've met her. And then, when he went to his ashram, he put mother's big photo in his prayer room with a thing written underneath that this is the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram Pondicherry, who is the Aditi of the world now. So this was told to me by one of the ashramites of Muktananda Ashram who left the ashram after Muktananda passed away. So while leaving, he came via our house, and that is when he himself told me this story. I had not seen it. So mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram Pondicherry, who is the Aditi of the world now.
Dhan, you mentioned...
Aditi is
yes,
charge of the world.
You mentioned something about a leg, a bone,
That
bone
will
in the
come,
leg.
yeah.
It's coming. Okay.
Later on, yes.
Very good.
Right to you. You got it right. There only. Yes, I had very bad pain in this right leg. So much so that about 3 feet must be from my bed to the bathroom. I could not walk. I had to go on a rolling chair, with the rollers. Because it just could not move. There was a spur. We saw in the x-ray that the bone had grown. So at that time, one of my sons was in Pondicherry. So he spoke to Prabhat Podar. Prabhat said, how is mummy? So he said, no, her leg is very bad. She can't just walk at all. I had to keep the classes closed. My yoga classes closed. So he said, where in the legs? Yes, mother used to say that hostile forces cannot attack the upper body because the divine force is there. So they generally attack the lower body, the legs. That is why ashramites also suffer very often, as you see, from leg trouble.
Yes.
So I asked my son, I said, then why didn't you ask us to what mother said as remedy? So he said, I didn't ask. I said, all right. I immediately phoned Prabhat, saying, Prabhat, what did mother say when she said the lower half is a... He said, mother said, the only remedy is to bring white light. So I said, if mother said it, it must be the remedy.
Bring white light into that area.
Into that area, exactly. So I concentrated because it was a question of almost life and death with me. And all of a sudden I saw both this bluish white, whitish blue light and a diamond. Diamond didn't send the light down, but the whole light came straight into the knee. The diamond had its light inside only. And foot went the pain, completely gone. That second. Now when my legs pain, I try, but nothing happens.
But from the next moment you were able to walk around freely.
I could walk around, and there was Jehangir's birthday, so I ran and I shopped, and I should have taken some care, and I should have meditated. But we are so ignorant. I really felt at that time, if I had really meditated, given myself completely to the mother when I saw that light, it would have been something different.
Rashmi says she couldn't quite understand when you said eyes and light and diamond.
You see, bluish white, whitish blue light appeared before my eyes, all over, like this. And there was a diamond there. And that bluish white, whitish blue light went in. The diamond was steady. It's not like a torch which through the light. It was full of light. It was keeping the light inside. I don't know what it meant.
The bluish white light.
Whitish blue, bluish white.
Yeah, Sri Aurobindo's light.
Sri Aurobindo and Mother's.
And Krishna's. Sri Aurobindo said the colors of his and Krishna's light were the same.
Yeah, but the white light is Mother's light.
That's mother. White light is mother light. But you said bluish here.
Bluish, white, both. That
bluish.
means both were there.
Ah.
Both were there.
Both were there.
When you paint, you make paints with blue and white.
Right.
Like that it was.
Wonderful.
And then what else? Now we come to 1973, when Mother left her body.
Yes.
It was 17th. 17th of November.
November, yes.
So 16th of November was a Saturday. And that was Saturday was the day given to us to meditate in Pedder Road, as a Pedder Road branch. So Saturday we were meditating, and after meditation we always used to sing Mother's songs, Sundaram has written lovely Gujarati song. So we used to sing. But that day, immediately the meditation ended, I felt such a bad pain, as though a dagger was struck into my chest. Very bad pain. So I said, we will not sing. And we got up. And I told my husband after meditation was over that don't wake me up early tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. I'm feeling very, very bad. So he said, fine. But in the morning, he put transistor radio right behind my head so that it can make noise and I can get up. So it made noise, and in that noise, what do I hear? In Hindi, it said that Pondicherry Ashram ke mother ka dehant hua, dil ka dauda pada. Exactly these words I heard. That means she had a heart attack and she died. Mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. And I just got up with my hands and legs and everything possible. And I said, what is this? This can't be true. So I told my husband, he said, you sleep long, so you hear all wrong things. I said, nothing doing. I phoned Talwar. Talwar said, Dhanben, it is correct. So I said, come on now, we must go. We must go to Pondicherry. We can't miss this. So children all, we packed up. And at that time there was only one airline, that is Air India. No other. And that was on strike. And in my Sterling apartments, there were authorities of Air India staying. So I tried to phone them that they would do something, because a few flights were going. Strike means not all flights. So I phoned them and each one was out of Bombay. Only one wife of a person was there, one Mr. Desai, and she said, "You go." I said, "I must go. It is mother who has passed away, and I must go and see her." So he said, "Yes, you go to the airport, say Mr. Desai has sent me, and you will be able to go." So I told, we went, and I said that Mr. Desai has sent me, and please give. Said, "We have only 3 tickets. We can give you 3 tickets." And we were 5, my 3 children and 2 of us. I said, "How can I send my little children home now? I can't, and I want them to come with me." So I said, "We can't help it, but you try to go towards the ramp and say that Mr. Desai has sent you." I said, "All right." So the 5 tickets were there, but 3 boarding cards. And we went there and we were asked to go up. We went up and 2 of them sat with the pilot. 2 of them or one, I don't know.
One with the pilot and one on the other's lap or something.
One on other's lap. And Amal, I saw from out of the window, Amal was poor fellow downstairs. He couldn't get the ticket. He was coming from Bombay.
So when did you arrive here in Pondicherry? What hour?
Right on time, properly. And when we arrived, Navajata saw to it that many cars go to Madras, so that people all of a sudden come. How can they have cars from the ashram? So he sent, so we got a car. And at that time I was at rest. So I slept in the car. Otherwise I was crying away. So I slept in the car and I dreamed of the mother. I dreamt that she had bad varicose veins. And so I was relieved that, oh, she must be now out of pain. I was so relieved that she was out of pain. Years later, one person who was upstairs, working, we were in, society has meetings, etc. We were in the meeting and she used to be with the mother working. So I asked her, I said, "Did mother ever have varicose veins?" She said, "Of course. She was standing so long for giving darshan, she had bad varicose veins." So that was one. And then when we came here, I was still feeling very bad, because coming so often to the mother and then to get rid of her, But you remember, were you there when mother's body?
I was there.
How they had kept that straight line to go to mother, and
Yes.
then so till such time as somebody in front of you goes away, you don't see the mother at all. So when I came to her face to face, it was all white light, that made me get so satisfied that she was in such white light, That was quite an experience. And one of my friends who had bought ticket long back, so she came. She offered me her ticket to come. I would never take it because she had never seen the mother, and that would be the only time she would see the mother, last time. So she came, saw the mother like that, and she didn't know anything about the ashram. So she went and stood in a corner. So one of the persons managing was trying to ask her to go away. But mother was there. Mother said, "No, leave her there, because I can see mother's light going to her." Sindhu. So many things happened with mother having left the body also at that time. So many more may have happened, That is 73. after her leaving the body, we get her presence so much. So often we feel that, oh, it is she only who could have done it. Those we can have next time. Now Jehangir will tell his.
Why don't we save that for, we'll do 20 minutes more and then we'll do with you.
Sure.
Because you had mentioned
Tomorrow, didn't you?
many of the people who came to stay with you, and I think you mentioned Ananda already, and Deepshika, Ananda and Deepshika.
Yeah, Ananda and Deepshika
Tell
also
us.
stayed with me. They went on a tour around around Europe or something. So they came and first stayed with us. Who was with them? I forget. Who was driving the car? In the car they went. So they started from our house, and when they came back also they stayed with us. Deepshika Anand and Deepshika's sister. Three of them. And somebody else of the ashram was there. I don't now remember.
Could you tell us a bit about Purna Prem?
Purna was very dear to me. It so happened that one day she happened to be in Bombay. And who was that Tagore? Who was with her?
Yes, I remember, but Roger was with her, probably.
Roger was her husband.
It was a husband. Oh, she had someone else with her.
No, she had somebody who was her son's age, you know.
Yeah.
But he was with her, and he phoned me. Tagore, I know that his surname was Tagore. But you remember, he stayed with us. So he phoned me that Purna, mother's granddaughter, is in Bombay, and she wants to stay in Bombay for some time. Where can she stay? I said, she can come and stay with me. So he and she, both, they stayed with me. That's how I knew Purna. Then whenever the whole family, all five of us came, we stayed with Purna. She used to keep one whole room completely empty for us, remember?
Yeah, the
all
white,
our beds.
white room.
Was that the ashram corner? Ashram corner?
Just opposite,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
Okay,
there.
yes.
And she used to teach some classes.
Yes,
There, and she had
dance
laid
classes.
out 4 beds.
Yoga and dance. So she would stop that and make our beds. So many of us. Because that big room only could accommodate so many beds. But when I came, her classes would go on. And I would be given next room to the class. It was such a beautiful house.
Yeah.
And she was like a sister to me. She was most beautiful.
Can you share any remembrances of Madhav Pandit and Vasanti?
No, Madhav Pandit and Vasanti, I don't remember anything except for this, my taking the cake upstairs.
Okay. Can I see your notes?
I don't know whether you'll be able to make out anything. But Jehangir, you said when you were less than 7, you had the back trouble. Vandana was telling me, and then you concentrated with the mother.
Well, when you came here, you would always see Amal.
Amal.
Can we have a remembrance of Amal?
Amal, so many things we talked about, but I just now don't remember. You remember anything about Amal?
So many things. He told us about what must have been a really excruciating fall. I think when he was much younger, he
His
used to
leg.
have-
His leg.
Yeah, he
Yes.
used to have a cane and an English felt hat, and he said he walked into a room which had been waxed, and apparently he slipped and he really damaged himself very badly.
He said,
But
like
he's-
a ballerina.
But he told it so beautifully. He said, and suddenly I executed the Pavlova position.
Yes.
That's very sweet.
And if you read the letters, you will read. He's saying, you don't be like your uncle, because I also keep falling. So don't be like your uncle, but he has written something so beautiful. All his letters are with me.
When he was still walking, he would have the cane. And in poetry, an anapest is like 3 beats in one. So he says, I'm an anapestic sort of guy.
So sweet.
Come and have a-
Talada is Anapest, right?
Yeah. And so he had the cane and his 2 feet.
He was full of fun.
He also
always.
once told us when we were sitting with him, he was talking about Sri Aurobindo's writing and his own.
Yeah.
And he said, by the way, I have written more books
More
than Sri Aurobindo.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I remember that story. He said, Sri Aurobindo was very great. And he wrote some 35 books.
Even,
But I wrote 43. Wonderful sense of humor.
yeah,
Really.
yeah, wonderful.
So,
Something came to me just now. What about you? Tell your
I
incident.
wanted to ask you
First
just
you.
a minute about Monsieur André. You told me you had met
Yeah,
him.
Monsieur Andre, I just once went into his office.
Just to
and
see him.
Just like, yes,
Like
just
Nalini.
like Nalini, Monsieur Andre, I want to see you. Please sit here. That's all, no more.
Jehangir. All of your memories. You met Mother? You recall, or were you too young?
I was 5 when we first met her. And whenever I look back, I wonder how much of it is what I heard after, which sort of created the picture in my mind. But from what I remember, it's a vague memory of seeing her feet and putting my hands and head at her feet and feeling something rather beautiful and remarkable as we went along. But the room, the atmosphere, that fragrance, it's just like a mist and a beautiful memory. But again, I don't know how much has been pieced together after the actual event. But
Did you see Mother often when you came?
yeah, but my sort of memory is perhaps that first one when we came in '69.
Okay.
December, because that's when we came with all the
December.
stuff.
Yeah.
And when we went back to Bombay, I think we were all in a weird way fired by having met her. So we used to all make sort of drawings or paintings or crayon sketches and things and say we want to make them for the mother. So my younger brother and I, and Adil also, we used to do stuff for the mother. And once I remember when we came, maybe it was that same December, but Firoz, my younger brother, said, Mother, these are the things that I have made for you. He must have been really small.
Yeah.
So he was 3. So maybe it was a couple of years after,
Yeah.
between 69 and 73.
Every day he would ask me for a paper and I would give him a handmade paper and he would make a card for the mother. So he brought all those cards to the mother.
He brought them to the mother and also some sheets on which he had drawn stuff. And so the mother would keep turning them over and say, Très bien, très bien, très bien. And then when she came to one and she said, Très bien, Firoz said, No, mother, not like that, like this.
Yeah, I
You have
remember
some
that.
memories of the ashram also, no?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you visited so many. Could you tell us some?
Certainly, but for me, what's most touching is the things that happened to me. So there used to be nights when I used to have horrifying dreams. I would see myself like the Little Prince, if you've seen
Yes,
the book.
yes.
So I would see myself like that standing on the earth alone, and everything around me was burnt. Everything around me, mom, dad, everybody was dead. I was the only one living and feeling completely alone. And I was very young, so it was pretty painful. And it used to happen many nights. So I would wake up, my brother Adil would be next to me and he would hold me and stuff like that. And then mom apparently would once ask me, what do you feel? And I had this very weird thing. I said, I felt like the burden of the whole world is on my shoulders. So mom felt, this is a little strange coming from a, 6 or 7 year old. And so she wrote to the mother saying that my son Jehangir has these dreams, and I would be so happy if you could send your blessings or something like that. And the mother sent a blessings packet. If I remember correctly, it was a pink blessings packet with her photograph on it, and I was told that I should put it in my pajama suit top. And I think it was quite dramatic, because from the first day I did that, all the dreams disappeared. I didn't have any negative dreams anymore. And then many months later, it disappeared because it went to the dhobi.
The washer.
I didn't get it back. And so the mother had left her body, and so mom wrote to Champaklalji saying that the blessings packet has gone to the
The
dhobi.
mother was there.
No, that when the
Coin came.
when the blessings packet was gone, then the mother had left her body. So Champaklal sent from her wardrobe. There were some silver coins which were minted on her 90th birthday, I think,
It was quite a big
So-
coin, silver coin.
with the mother's face on the front and her symbol at the back. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
And it's written
So-
the date.
Yeah, her 90th birthday. So that was what mom made a silver chain with, and I used to wear it. I used to feel delightfully protected with that. A beautiful feeling. I wore it for years and years. In fact, I remember wearing it when Rashmi and I were together in college. So I really felt beautiful with that. Maybe for 15, 20 years I used to wear that, and then I have it with me. I don't wear it anymore because at some stage I just felt like the mother is with me. You know, I'd like to keep what was sent, but I don't feel that I should necessarily be hanging on to something like that. And then what happened is, as I grew, I guess that's the time in our teens when we are open to doubt, and when we go to college and we study Freud and Jung, and so all sorts of questions come up, and the spiritual aspect gets suppressed by the mental aspect. So at that time I remember mom reading, because every Saturday we had meditations at home. So 6:30 to 7, I think mother had given the time, 6:30 to 7 we would read from the mother and Sri Aurobindo's works. We still do. And 7 to 7:30 the lights were off. There's a diya, a lamp in front of the mother and Sri Aurobindo's pictures, and each one is quiet on their own for half an hour. So 6:30 to 7 would be the reading, 7 to 7:30 was meditation time. So
Mother's prayers also, huh? Prayers and
Prayers.
meditation.
prayers and meditations. Then we would sometimes read the letters written by Sri Aurobindo to the sadhaks, those volumes. So, sorry,
So
what
there
was
is
I talking
quiet
about?
and there is
No, what was it
only
talking?
light, you were saying. We are
Doubt, thank you.
Doubt. Yes.
Doubt. So I remember mom reading, and I always had this delightful feeling that the mother was all that there is, you know, that sort of feeling. And then sometimes mom would read a conversation between some people asking the mother questions, and her saying, "Hey, sorry, what was it? I can't hear. Could you speak loudly?" You know, things like that. And at that age, that put that seed of doubt into my mind. That look, if the mother knows everything, is everything, how come she can't hear? How come she has physical infirmities? So I was with that for several years, when it kept bothering me. It kept making me feel, how can it be? How can she be all powerful and still not be able to hear a child speaking in front of her? Things like that. And luckily, after going out of college, something started happening. I started feeling oneness with the mother inside me. Even now, I often love to close my eyes and just see this particular face of the mother, which is extremely dear to me. In fact, just this morning, when we were coming out of the ashram, mom went in to pick up some photographs. And that particular photograph, there's this particular photograph, which is my mother photograph. And I saw that and I felt that rush of feelings coming up again. And then somebody told me that that particular photograph was probably taken in 1969-70. So it may be some past thing that made that connection. And so happily the mind was overshadowed by that beautiful spiritual connection.
No more doubts.
No more doubts. So what happened, this happens very often, but I'll just tell you about something that happened. I go once a year to the States, and I'm with friends, and they tend to be yoga people, and so I teach there for a short period of time, and then come back. So I was in Michigan, and I was at the airport, and I was waiting to change flights. not waiting. I was just coming out of the baggage area, and as I came out, I realized, oh gosh, I haven't taken my bags. So I turned around to go back, and there was a man there sitting at a desk, and he said, sorry, you can't go back. He looked so wicked about it. I said, my bags, and I've got a plane to catch in about an hour and 10 minutes. And so he said, sorry, once you come out of that door, you don't go back. So, but what should I do? So I said, you got to think first, or something like that. He was less than charitable. So then I was this strange feeling of anger, helplessness, not knowing what to do. And I was standing, and there were lots of people there. There was a queue which was leading to something else, and I just couldn't go back and get the bags, and time was ticking. And the flight to where I had to go was going to take off. And then it suddenly struck me, what am I doing? What is the most important thing for me? And so I felt like the most important thing for me is to be with the mother. And then it doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. It really doesn't make a difference whether the bag is there or is not there, as long as I'm with her. And so I just stood where I was with my carry-on, and I just closed my eyes. And all that anger slowly evaporated, the feeling of helplessness disappeared, and it just felt, this is where I want to be. There's no other place in the world that I want to be except with her. And so as I stood there feeling that beautiful, I feel it in my body. I feel physical currents running through my body when I feel her presence. So I just feeling the thrill and enjoying myself. And suddenly somebody tapped me on my shoulder. I don't know how long it was. It could have been 2 minutes, it could have been 15. But somebody tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to that gentleman at the door.
Same gentleman.
She pointed to that gentleman at the door, who was almost vicious the way you
the same
spoke
gentleman.
earlier. And he had a smile on his face, and he said, come here. So I said, okay. And he said, go in, get your bags.
He called mother.
Yeah. That was a little startling because it was a proper Jekyll Hyde kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I went in, got my bag. I went in to get my bags, and then somebody said, oh, those bags, but they've left this terminal. They're already on the way to the other terminal. I said, but I need them because I've got a flight taking off right here from this terminal. And so the lady said, well, let's see what we can do. And then she checked her roster or whatever, and she says, sorry, I don't think these bags, you're not going to get these bags just now. So I said, again, I'd learned. I just closed my eyes. And again, without any feeling that I want or anything, but I just want to be with you. That was a feeling. And again, I felt those beautiful vibrations, and I really was happier then than I would have been if things had worked out well. So I thought, what am I worried about? I'm in the best place that there is. So as I stood there feeling beautiful, suddenly on my left elbow, this lady came and said, sir, are these your bags? And they were. They were so beautiful.
Oh, these are the things that happen,
Yes.
in life.
We'll take a brief break for a minute or two.